We're learning more details about last week's deadly shooting at a military facility in Chattanooga, Tennessee. We now know some military personnel willingly ran toward the gunman to protect others. Jericka Duncan is covering this story from Tennessee, joins us on the phone with more details. So they have this news conference today, Jericka. Are investigators closer to discovering or announcing what the motive might have been?
You know, investigators say they are still piecing together this puzzle, if you will, to try to figure out what may have motivated Muhammad Abdulaziz to kill these four Marines, and then, of course, that second person, or the fifth person, rather, that died, the sailor, from the gunshot wounds that he received. But today's news conference, they really walked through the events that took place last Thursday. They started out talking about before 11 o'clock, the gunman drove up and fired shots at that first beam, that recruiting center. Then they went on to talk about how he crashed his car through the gate, that he had a rifle and handgun when he went inside of that facility, the second facility, and that he was going after people. He started shooting immediately. They also talked about the two service members they believe that were trying to get folks out of harm's way. This kind of matches what we were told Saturday by the father of Staff Sergeant David White. He said that officials told him that his son was responsible for helping people get over a gate. And I guess when they did their count, they realized he told us that they were missing two people, so they went back in, and that's when the father told us his son was killed by the gunman. As far as those weapons are concerned, investigators say there were two other weapons that they discovered, and they belonged to the service members. One of those weapons was discharged. When asked about, isn't it true that military aren't supposed to have these weapons on them, the FBI agent in charge, Ed Reinhold, said, that's not relevant to our current investigation. That has more to do with the military, and the military officials at the news conference wouldn't answer any questions about that. When it comes to ballistics, this is also an interesting tidbit that they gave at today's news conference. They said that it is believed, even though they're still waiting on the ballistic report, that all of these victims were in fact shot by the gunman. Mr. Reinhold wrapped it up again by talking about Abdulaziz, calling him a homegrown violent extremist who they still believe, as they did Friday, acted alone. They also gave us more details on how long he was in that second facility, and said in that time that he killed those four Marines, he was in there for 3 to 5 minutes before police were able to kill him.
Jericka, thank you so much for those details.